Hey everybody and welcome back. Today I wanted to do a recap of all the PSA graded items that I picked up over the year. So for 2019, two key things have played a big factor into the amount of cards I've collected this year. The first being that I've been deployed in the military for most of the year. I left near the end of January. Currently right now I'm home for a few weeks of vacation, but I'm heading back to finish up my time and then looking to come back at the end of next month. So looking forward to that. The second factor is the fact that a lot of the key guys I collect, like the Bob Gibsons, the Frank Robinson, Willie McCovey, the guys that really are the powerhouses of my PCs, I've really got everything I need, and so not a lot of stuff has come up this year. So just not a lot of opportunity to buy stuff. But there are a few guys that I've really worked on to build up the player collections of. And starting off there on the top left with the Brooks Robinson, got about 13 new Brooks Robinson cards, about 7 from the 60s, I think 6 from the 70s. So really did a good job rounding out my collection. I had most of the stuff from the late 50s, so I just needed to pick up some of those, and I was able to get. I think I got everything I need except a 67 and a 66. 66 not so hard. 67 is outrageously expensive because it's in the high number. And then moving on to the Al Kaline collection, picked up quite a bit. I already had quite a bit of his stuff from the 60s, so I was able to round out with some stuff from his 50s, and then actually his later playing career in the 70s. So right now I'm just looking to pick up 56 tops, 58 tops, 70 tops, and then 74 tops, and then that'll be complete. Another guy I started collecting last year, Tom Seaver. Got quite a few of his cards from his Mets playing days, as I'm kind of focusing on the vintage portion, but also some cards from the junk wax era when he was with the Reds. And then down here, this Gaylord Perry, a really cool Venezuela tops, but he had a really long playing career, and the majority of this stuff, I got a lot of his junk wax stuff from the early 80s. I used 2019 to really focus on the Lou Brock collection as well. Picked up his last cards from the 1960s that I needed, that 64. Really nice Nearman 7. I kind of splurged on that a little bit because I just wanted it, and I really liked that in a 7. Then also got some odds and end cards from the late 60s, and then also worked on the 70s piece for him. Last card I need for him, still I needed 71. Also in the high number series, tough to get. Another guy that I've collected a little bit more this year would be the Phil Niekro, highlighted by that 67 and an 8. Really sharp card. Niekro, not a top-notch Hall of Famer as regards to collecting, but a Hall of Famer nonetheless. And so starting to build that collection a little bit as I'm just looking for guys to collect, seeing as my main PC guys are so far along. Been looking to get a Joe Morgan autograph for some time, and so I was able to pop on that this year. And then round out my collection with some of his early 60s stuff. I got some of his O-Pee-Chees, some 60, I think 66 and 69 O-Pee-Chee in there, as well as a couple later junk wax era tops cards. Looking at the Harmon Killebrew, got a couple cards from the 1960s, highlighted by that Killebrew in orbit in action card. Then here a 74 tops Don Sutton, rounded out the Sutton collection with the 74, 75. Then I got an 80 O-Pee-Chee and 80 tops. Had to buy that 74 twice. The first one came cracked, primarily because the military is the one that finally did the final delivery of the card. I think they kind of rough handled it. But it all ended up well with we finally got a new Nearman 8 to replace that. So that collection looks complete. Looking over here, a cool Cepeda Roger Maris card. I also really like, I got his 63 and his 64 as well. Still need to get some of his 70s cards, oddly enough, his 70 and his 72, 73 as well. Jim Hunter, a guy I started collecting, that would have been highlighted here by his second-year card from 1966. And then looking over here, this Pete Rose card, not a bad card from 65, really good color on that. Probably one of the more expensive cards I bought this year. I mentioned already I have a really strong Bob Gibson collection, and this is got a couple of peaches here, just not very high grades on there, but they don't pop up a lot, so I was able to pick that up. A couple cards for the Rod Carew collection. And then here are 3 guys that I really don't have strong collections on, but I picked up a few of their cards here and there. I got 3 Yastrzemskis, 2 Johnny Benches, a couple Carlton Fists, I rounded out my Jim Bunning collection, finished it off with that 66 that I needed. A couple Bert Blyleven cards, 2 Winfields. I got a 75, a 76 to kind of round out all his, trying to get all his Padres uniform stuff. And then looking over here, a couple other guys. Finally got that Steve Carlton autograph I've been looking to get. And then 3 guys that I have such strong collections of already that there really wasn't an opportunity for me to pick up my stuff. Frank Robinson, McCovey, Don Drysdale. Same story with these guys. The early win, really like that. Hoyt Wilhelm, black and white, 53 Bowman. Juan Marichal, one Hank Aaron, Nellie Fox, Reggie Jackson. There's a stack of Hall of Famers right there. Stack of common vintage cards. Stack of commons from 1960. And then there's some 80s junk wax stars. And then it's going to pan over here to a couple all other sports. Some vintage basketball with Elvin Hayes. I got 4 Tim Duncan rookies. A couple Kevin Garnett cards. And then some vintage football. And 1 hockey card, that Jaromir Jagr rookie. Don't ask me why. I just bundled with another card. But that's my pickups for 2019. Once again, everyone, hope you had a great year. Appreciate your posts and comments. I'll talk to you again soon.